What's cracking, party people? It's your girl Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ, celebrating the 2-year anniversary month of NIKKI BANZ Live. Today I'm interviewing Uti Nwachukwu right here on NIKKI BANZ Live! What up, party people? It's your girl NIKKI BANZ checking in, and I gotta say, today is a beautiful day in sunny Southern California. Your girl NIKKI BANZ is out here. I'm still in La La Land, y'all. But don't worry, to all my people back in Cape Town, aka my boyfriend Charles, I'm gonna be back soon. No stress. What's up? This is NIKKI BANZ Live, your favorite Tuesday interview series where every single Tuesday I am bringing you exclusive one-on-one conversations with some of the most dynamic, the most interesting, the most entertaining, the most talented people from across the globe. Every single week I'm bringing you a different guest from a different country, and today is no exception. Let's get it, party people! Okay, I see we got peeps already in the building. Filipino pilot Cheska, yes girl, one of the amazing guests here on NIKKI BANZ Live, an incredible content creator, entrepreneur, and pilot based out of the Philippines. That's right, I'm definitely about to see you in Manila very soon, my dear. Shout out to Chrissy Ann Sway, who's here checking in from NYC, a NIKKI BANZ Live super fan. I love to see it. We got Christine in the building. What's up, Christine, my boo in Cape Town? I'm gonna come back to you soon, my girl, I promise, I promise. Well, y'all, I have to say that I am super excited for my interview today because today's interview is a plug from the one and only my boo Charles. Aww. So Charles is back in Cape Town right now, right? I'm in LA, and you know, I'm always looking for new guests on this show. I'm always looking for dope people to interview, the dopest people around the world. And Charles is like, yeah, honey, I got somebody who I think you should interview. And I was like, okay, you got somebody cool for me? He was like, yeah, I know this guy named Uti. I was like, okay, tell me about Uti. What's the deal? What's the vibe? So Charles, shout out to you. Love of my life. Charles is the one that put me on to Uti and said, you gotta get this guy on your show. So here we are. I'm gonna bring him in just a moment. We're gonna get the interview started. Shout out to Nigel in the building. It's gonna be an amazing conversation. And Uti is a presenter himself. So, you know, anytime I interview fellow presenters, it's always a vibe because, you know, we just know how to talk, right? We literally do this for a living, right? So it's gonna be a vibe, y'all. Get excited. So I gotta say, shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. We got more coming on soon. And I just gotta say, for all of y'all who have been showing me so much support from all over the world, even while I'm here in California, even while I'm here in the United States, we got people tuning in from the Philippines, from the US, from Mexico, from India, from Guam, from all over the world. And that is the essence right here of NIKKI BANZ Live. I'm telling you, bringing in the dopest people from across the world. Entertainers, actors, rappers, dancers, content creators, Olympians, and Uti Nwachukwu, my guest for today, is joining a very distinguished guest list from Nigeria who I've had here on NIKKI BANZ Live. Of course, I had the Valentine's Day special with my boo Charles. Okay, so Charles was on the show. I've had Olympian Simi Adeagbo on the show, and I've had another Big Brother team member on the show, the one and only Toby Bakre. We've had the Lady Mayowa, an incredible journalist and foreign correspondent for Nigeria and the Emirates. So it's gonna be a good one, y'all. This is going to be a vibe. All right, y'all. I know y'all didn't just come here to hear me talk. I know y'all want to hear my guests, but before that, I previewed it at the beginning of the show. I'm gonna do it again. This month, August, this is the 2-year anniversary month of NIKKI BANZ Live, y'all! Yes! Honestly, it's so crazy. I can't believe that it has been 2 years of NIKKI BANZ Live. So many incredible guests, about 80 guests from 40 different countries around the world, from Switzerland to Germany to Mexico to India to Tanzania to Namibia. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the diverse and dynamic talent that's been here on the show. And I gotta say thank you to every single one of y'all. I will tell y'all when the official 2-year anniversary show is coming up. I'm telling you, you're gonna know. We're gonna have some things going on. I'm gonna have some parties. I'm gonna drop some exclusive videos. So it's gonna be a vibe. Thank you to Siddhartha saying congrats, NIKKI. I appreciate you. It's gonna be a vibe. So this is the 2-year anniversary month of NIKKI BANZ Live, and I could not have done it without you. So thank you to every single person who watches the show every Tuesday. It's all because of you. I love you all. And yes, Marissa, listen in the chat being like, time flies when you're having a blast. Congrats. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all. It's time. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sir Uti, the one and only Uti Nwachukwu. I see Charles is here now. Hey, babe. Hey, Charles. You know Charles had to be here. He was the plug, right? All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's get him on the show. Uti Nwachukwu right here on NIKKI BANZ Live. I'm going to bring him on right now. Here we go, here we go, here we go. NIKKI BANZ and Uti Nwachukwu, let's get it. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hey, yo.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Uti? How you doing?
I'm good. Good, how are you?
I am so good. It's amazing to see you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing so well. You know, any friend of Charles is a friend of mine. So when Charles was like,
so I never met you on my Cape Town days. So it's good to see that Charles is settling down with someone feisty.
Well, that is definitely one way to describe it. I was laughing earlier when we were messaging, and you were like, "This can't be a boring interview." I was like, "Trust me, baby. It's like it's not gonna be boring."
I didn't say boring. Well, boring was part. Yeah, I was like cliche or boring.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, Uti Nwachukwu in the building. How you doing? How you living?
I'm good. I'm surviving the economy, but so far, yeah, everything is okay. I can't complain. I always think about how blessed I am. So I would say I'm blessed and highly favored.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, come on now. Blessed and highly favored. I love that. I love to hear it. And okay, like I got so many questions for you. I'm so excited to talk to you, to learn more about how you got into the work that you're doing, the type of impact that you're trying to have in this world. But I gotta start off for everybody who's just coming in now by saying I gotta always introduce how I know the people who are on my show. So me and Uti got connected through my boo Charles. Charles is my boyfriend. Charles and Uti go way back. So it's amazing that we can have you on the show here today. I think my first question for you, Uti, is gonna be how do you know my mans? How do you know my boo? How did y'all meet?
How did I meet Charles? That was years ago. We have a common friend in Cape Town, but I think that one has relocated to America. So I think it was either on one of my trips in Cape Town. My friend wasn't available, so my friend was like, "Oh, my friend is in Cape Town. He should show you around." Or I think it was Charles's trip here, and our mutual friend was not here. And it was like, hey, one of my friends is there. You know, say you sabi Lagos well. Like, yeah, carry him go one or two clubs. And we just vibed, you know, we have the same English name. So, yeah. But it was years ago, probably like 2015 or 16, thereabout. Yeah.
Okay, well, you've definitely known him significantly longer than I have.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm happy to see he's you know, being a romantic man.
Charles is the most romantic. He's super romantic. He's doing his thing. But I was gonna say, I would be a bad
girlfriend. I do not want to picture Charles being romantic. No, thank you.
I thought you're supposed to want your boy to love and to thrive and flourish.
I mean, he can love, but you know, don't give me the vivid picture of him being romantic because you're just giving me material to roast him.
Well, don't worry, Uti. This is Instagram Live, not OnlyFans, so don't worry.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Uti, last question about Charles. You got to give me some dirt on my man, right? I feel like I'd be a bad girlfriend if I didn't ask you, what's the craziest thing that ever happened while you and Charles were together?
Nothing. Charles is boring as fuck. Oops, can I say fuck? Yeah. But he's boring AF. He's one of those, my mommy said I shouldn't, my daddy said I shouldn't. I'm like, dude, seriously? Charles doesn't go crazy. He's in control. You know, he's very daddy. Very, very daddy-like. You know, all those Igbo men that are daddy. So everything, you're not supposed to go there. You're not supposed to drink that. You're not supposed to smoke that. And I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, bro, you have so many tattoos, bro. I said, tattoo is different. I'm like, boy, save it.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I see Charles in the chat. He's like, dead. That is hilarious. You know, Uti, opposites attract. I think one of the things that Charles and I always talk about is that he is very, very calm,
Oh, yeah,
and I am very not calm.
that's what I'm saying.
No chill.
I'm happy he has a feisty one because he needs that energy in his life. So well done. Thank God. Women have a lot more influence on men than their friends. So I'm happy. Charles will actually start to live now. Yes.
oh, I think Charles was living before me, but he also living now. I'll give him that much.
Okay. Kudos to you, Charles.
All right. Well, Charles, we love you. Shout out to you. Thanks for the plug.
I mean,
Uti, you know, he's a keeper. He's a keeper. So Uti, over to you now. You have had an incredibly dynamic career that includes TV presenting, acting, being on reality TV, and then you also had a stint as a banker way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So Uti, let's talk about what first got you curious about being in the entertainment space. Because going from banking to entertainment, that is a big jump, my guy. Why were you like, I want to be in the entertainment industry?
No. Banking for me was just survival. You know, I wasn't going to be I wasn't going to be that aspiring entertainer sitting on his black ass, you know, on the couch waiting for his dreams to come true. No, I had to work. Bills had to be paid. Plus, I just didn't want to be in my parents' house just like watching TV all day, because I grew up watching a lot of TV.
Okay.
And so after that, I went. I attended a university, 2-year diploma, University of Nigeria in Nsukka. And in Nigeria, after your diploma, you're expected to get a year's working experience before you gain a direct entry for your bachelor's. So that was when I worked in a bank. You know, I was a teller. I made senior bulk teller. You know, I was pretty good at my job. But it was clear that I was not supposed to be there, because at every chance I got, I would be like taking a peek at the TV.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my bosses telling me, he said, "Are you sure you are made for banking?" I'm like, no. But then when I was about to leave, and they're like, "Oh, when you graduate, you can, you know, when you get your bachelor's, you can come back." I'm like, yeah, that TV you see me watching, that's what I want to be. Because that's what I grew up watching. You know, I watched a lot of TV, from music shows to movies, classic movies, you know, all types of music. So it's no wonder that I am doing what I'm doing right now. And yeah, so after banking, went back to school. While I was in school, went for a reality show, Big Brother. Went back for the All-Star one 2 years later, and that's the one I won. And then that was the beginning of my career.
I love that for you, Uti, because you had your eyes on the prize and you were willing to do whatever it took in the meantime to get there. And I think it's actually very interesting that you were on Big Brother Africa and not simply Big Brother Niger, because Big Brother Africa, right, that's the Pan-African version.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's the big one. That's the mother of them all.
Exactly. So what was it about reaching a Pan-African audience that appealed to you more so than exclusively the Nigerian audience?
Oh, it was just simple. That's what was available there. It wasn't like I had a choice. Well, Nigeria, Africa. No, it was Africa. It was Big Brother Africa. So I applied, and they picked me out of thousands of hopefuls. So yeah, it wasn't. I'm happy I went for Africa though, because I feel like Africa is a bit more relaxed, whereas Nigeria is a bit more like, you know, we're so aware of the culture and society, and everyone's trying to be sanctimonious or not be seen in a bad way, you know. So, but with Africa, we were, I don't know, it just felt easier. Probably because of social media. Maybe Africa could have been just as worse, but I think social media got like more toxic when Nigeria started to air again. So yeah, but for us in Africa, we got away with a lot of things. We did. I mean, in Nigeria, like they don't even know up to half of what we did, and they're like, strike. You know, they're like, you have been issued a strike, and I'm like, okay.
Right.
So, yeah. So for Nigeria, Nigerians like to give the impression that we're a conservative society, but yeah, we know what we do on the inside. So in public, you have to be conservative. Act like you don't shit. You know, don't. There's a saying in our country: do not wash your dirty pants in public.
Okay.
Your dirty underwear, don't wash it in public. So yeah, that's about it. So you know, the BB Nigeria franchise, you have a lot of fans going, oh, you shouldn't do this, oh, you should do that, oh, you shouldn't do this. I've even been influenced by that. I find myself saying, oh, you have to be this. But like I said, I'm happy for Africa. It was continental, and I just felt like, yeah, that was a time for God to announce me. And ever since then, it's been peachy.
Yeah. That's really interesting what you were sharing sort of about that like conservative nature of sort of like the pop culture around Nigeria, which is very interesting. I mean, dating a Nigerian, conservative is the last word I would use to describe my man's.
But Charles can be pretty much conservative now.
You know, maybe it's been with me, things have changed. I don't know.
You've influenced him. You have the Delilah effect. You woman.
That's me. Crazy NIKKI BANZ coming in. Don't let the Black Americans get involved. It's a whole different type of craziness.
I know, trust me, I know.
So it's interesting, hearing you say that. What has it been like for you and your sort of rise to fame in Nigeria and across the African continent? Do you ever feel like you are limited to what you can do, what you can say, who you can be, how you can present because of that more conservative society? Or do you feel like you're one of the people pioneering and changing the perception of Nigerians or in your own country?
Oh, we already started to do that. You know, after Big Brother, I got on a show called Jara. It was on TV for 11 years. It was very unconventional. It was very not conservative. It was a very liberal show. So we already started to pioneer the change from my time. You know, going with the days of stick presenting of your like, hello, my name is Uti, and welcome to the entertainment show today on Nollywood. You know, so Jara was more like, hey, welcome to the show today. On the show, we have one of the best actors in the world, and then I'm literally roasting my co-host, and she's literally incinerating me, and we're just like throwing jabs at each other, and then we go back, and then we like mock the old ways of presenting. I'm like, however, back on the show today, we went on set, you know. So it was that blend of it all that sort of endeared audiences to our show. And we were on air for 11 years, and that opened more doors for me. Even my hosting style is not conventional at all. I can do formal, I can do semi-formal, and I can do just like informal. You know, I cut across all. So I know how to be crazy, I know how to be conservative, and I know how to be extra liberal. You know what I mean? So it just depends on my audience, really. But when I'm doing my own thing, I definitely bring in my semi-formal flavor because I am not a very serious person, as you can tell. I only get serious when she gets serious. Yeah. But yeah.
I love the dynamism of your talent, the fact that you're able to do super formal events, the fact that you're able to be playful and joke with co-hosts. What's the common thread for you across any event that you do, whether it's formal, informal, movies, TV? What is that common thread? What's the thing that connects all the dots for you?
I'll say authenticity. For me, it's authenticity, staying true to myself, the very core of my character. Yeah, excuse me. That's it for me. I just, for people that watch me, there's a feedback, a very common point I get as feedback from my audience, which is I feel like you're speaking directly to me when I watch you, or I feel like you're doing whatever you're doing in front of me. I feel very connected to you, and for me, that's a win. That's why I do what I do. Like I want to be able to influence people's moods in a positive way when they watch me, and I want people to hear the truth. I want people to watch me and just feel like I'm your safe space, basically.
Well, I've known you for all of 20 minutes here on this show, and I'm already feeling like it's a safe space. So you're doing something right.
Because it is. I mean, the world it's simple. We humans. We are the ones that complicate the world. So I just like people to not get complicated with me. Like, even if you're a complicated person, when you're in my presence, can we just like let's peel off all the layers and just be? Because we're human beings. We're meant to be. You know, let's be you. Mm.
I hear you. I hear you. Do you feel like you are able to be the most when you are like on stage or have that microphone in your hand? Or are
Oh,
there other
present.
environments where you are like where you can be where you can really be?
Oh, professionally on stage with a microphone in my hand on stage. That's it. I can be me. You now see the presenter, Uti. So I love doing that professionally on stages when I shine the most. Um, Also on TV when I play eccentric
Okay.
characters, I also get to shine because I'm a very happy person.
Yep, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. So I mimic a lot of people. So for me, when I get to play this like eccentric character, it's an opportunity for me to live out one of my uh
Mm.
personalities that I have been able to like forge from interacting with different people. So I get to shine when I play extreme characters on for film and television, and then for hosting, yeah, it's when I just dig deep right into my very core personality.
Mm.
So yeah, I can be myself in both on both angles. Yeah.
I think bringing that authenticity to every step of the way, every
Yeah.
part of the journey. I feel like that's absolutely the way to go, and that is why you are the role model for so many people. Like I'm seeing people in the chat saying that's why we love him. You're a role model to
Oh.
us.
Oh.
Talking from a place of deep experience. You know, the crowd is loving it, so that
Oh.
means I love it too. Talk to us about one of those extreme characters that you played. Talk to us about like one of the most interesting, the most dynamic roles that you played, and why that one was so special to you.
Okay, so I have three special roles when I think about it, like off the top of my head, or four actually. The first is In the Cupboard. That was like my breakout performance where I played the role of a very wicked brother. I'm a fan of villains in movies. When I
Okay.
watch like these, I love happy movies, don't get me wrong, but when I watch the sweet characters, the ones that stand for truth, justice, and liberty, and all of that, I'm like, you know. So I like the villains. Like I'm a Magneto fan. I'm a huge fan of
Yeah.
Ursula. I love Hades from Hercules. I love yeah, you get it. I love Thanos. Those are my characters.
Okay.
Because in real life, I'm one of the sweet ones. So I hear. So it's unless you poke the wrong side. Yeah, but by default, I'm a nice guy. So it's a chance for me to play like something wicked, something I'm not. So I love to play the role of a villain. And then my favorite roles are all, well, I have one not so villainous role, but that one, in the cupboard in 2011. Then there was oh God, I keep forgetting the name of this one. Hush keeps coming to my head, and then there's another movie I've done too that keeps coming to my head. Um, it's not Hush, but it's something like Hush. Anyway, it's a psychological thriller.
Okay.
So I play the nice brother who has secrets. I love that one because there's a point in the movie where the nice brother was not so nice. Yeah, I really, really, really love that one. And another one is one of the epic movies I did where I played a blind stranger.
Mm.
It was a rock network production. It was Blind Stranger, yeah, and yeah. So I won an award for In the Cupboard. I won an award for as a yeah Home and Abroad, like best best supporting actor, best entertainment personality, and all of that. Then for I got my first AMA nomination for the one I can't remember the name, the one that's like something about Hush, anyways. And then yeah, then the one I am so proud of, like I'm most recently proud of, is my role on Aki and Popo. So Netflix right now. If you've not watched it, go watch it.
Okay.
I played this very think. Did you ever watch Zoolander?
I have watched it, but not in a long
Not in
time.
a long time, but yeah. So my influence for that role was Will Farrell
Okay.
as Mogatu. Yeah, there's a role he played on Zoolander, Mogatu, the villain of Zoolander. So that was my inspiration. So you can only imagine how far I went with that role. Yeah, so those are the four things I'm really proud of. Then with regards to TV presenting, I've hosted the AMVCAs for, is it 8 years? 9 years. Can't remember, 8 or 9. Oof, yes, 8 or 9 years. I've hosted the AMVCA red carpets. I love live shows. I love live on the red carpet shows. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I get to just shine, and I get to be me. You know, you don't have someone saying, "Cut, do this again." You know, they're just in your ear saying, "Oh, do this, don't do that, do this." But then you don't feel like a puppet. It's like a puppet without strings. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of all the talent shows I've hosted, from technos. There's a techno karaoke show I hosted. The first and only edition of The Winner Is. I hosted the Nigerian version. Yeah. And the Real Housewives of Lagos.
Yep.
I hosted that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm also very proud of that. So I just have a few projects like that.
Yeah, just a few projects. I've just done a couple red carpets. I just won a couple awards. I'm just on Netflix. Just a few projects like that. Whatever.
No, because I even feel like I'm not doing the most. I have colleagues that are on like a million movies on Netflix. I have colleagues that have hosted like thousands of game shows and all of that. But for me, it's just like if I don't feel like that special connection to a show, I most likely wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Or if the money is not that good, So
yeah. Well, the money definitely has to come correct, in addition to, you also being cast in a good role as well. It definitely needs to be a balance of the two. And honestly, the work that you're doing, the fact that you are able to keep your authentic self throughout all these roles, be able to say that like you like playing characters that challenge you, that make you think a different kind of way, make you really get into this role. I think that's incredible. And I think that shows true dynamism as a host, because you push yourself, you challenge yourself, even doing live versus doing, something
like
scripted. I've had actors on this show. I've had actors on this show before tell me they didn't want to go live with me because there was no script, right? Like, it is hard to go live. It's hard to be live.
I love going live. I guess because I've always believed in my personality. Yeah. Like right from when I was a kid, my dad would call me, when he had visitors, he would call me in and tell me, "Oh, tell them the story of that thing you told me." And then I would just start ranting. The man went, he jumped and he fell and he stood up and he ran. I just make shit up and just talk. So yeah.
No, I'm with you. I love the live chat, because you never know what's gonna happen live. Something happens, something messes up, someone says something crazy, someone says something
exciting.
Political.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's the spontaneity of it all.
Exactly. Uti, what is the dream role that you're working toward right now?
The Black Panther, not to be Black Panther.
Woo!
To be a cast
Wakanda
member.
forever.
Wakanda. Or maybe the Black Aquaman. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a spin on it. Like the Aqua Kingdom from Africa. The representation. They have their own Aquaman. They always do the shit version of our accents on all these big screen African inspired stories. I'm like, we don't talk like that, bro. It's kind of like us saying Americans talk like this. I want to go there, man. I just want to go there. I just want to tell you. Yeah, man, you're good, man. I just like you, man. What up, man? What up? I mean, exactly. That's how we feel when we watch Black Panther, and they're like, "Ooh, we must go to the lake to fetch some water." No, we will say no. We must go to the lake to fetch some water, or we'll go lake go fetch water. You know what I'm saying? Even when we speak English, we must go to the lake to fetch water. And then if you want to act like you're all bougie and all of that in Nigeria, you'll be like, "Oh, we must go to the lake to fetch some water," because we're English colonizing shit.
Yeah.
So when we hear that accent, "Oh, have I not given you all that I have inside of me?" I'm like, we're not that dramatic. I mean, we're dramatic, but we're not that dramatic.
So building off of that, because you've raised a great point. We're also having a really interesting cross-cultural conversation here, right? I'm half Black American, half Iranian.
Oh wow.
Raised in the United States and in Singapore, but been living in South Africa for 10 years. I'm all over the place.
It's giving multiple personalities. You okay, honey boo boo?
I don't know. Ask me after the show.
Okay. Okay.
So you
Mhm.
are like deeply rooted and deeply steeped in the Nigerian entertainment industry, and obviously you have shows and things on Netflix, things that cross over. How well do you think the entertainment industry globally is doing of showcasing and amplifying African shows, African movies, and African actors? Because I think, you know, we did see some crossover in a movie like Black Panther. There's a lot of South African actors in it. There was some Kenyan actors in
But
it,
not
right? Right?
Nigerians.
Right, Nigerians, right? And so, like, do you feel like there is improvement in representation of the African continent on these major platforms, or you think there's still a long way to go?
I think it's okay. I think it's neither here nor there yet. I think it's just average. As a country, Nigeria, I don't think we have enough representation in the movie industry yet. Yet, because it just feels like most of the Nigerian actors over there are like American or London washed actors. They're not like you don't have like a raw crossover. Like I'll give an example. One of the biggest stars is Genevieve Unaji. Like we want to watch a Black Panther and see Genevieve Unaji in a Black Panther or Kate Henshaw in a Black Widow or something, and just feel like, okay, this was a direct transfer. Just like how Kenyans look at Lupita, and it was a
Right.
basically from sugar to 12 years a slave, So I just feel like we need more representation from Nigeria. African-wise, there's a balance, but it just feels like it's also space feeling, the diversity quota. So it just feels like they want to be like, okay, so this year from Africa, we shall pick one or two favored ones, But I think the music industry is doing really well.
Yeah.
Those ones have cast their nets so wide, and they are representing us in the most valid way ever. Afrobeat is like arguably the biggest genre of music right now.
It is.
And it's still growing. Yeah. So, and originally, it was started by the South Africans, Nigerians. We put our own flavor in it. So it's all love, it's all Africa. So, but when you think Afrobeat, you think Nigeria, you think Amapiano, you think the South African. So I think Africa is doing a huge job at profiling and showcasing the kind of talent that we have back home. So the musicians, yes. Our models are doing great, just that the modeling industry is not very popular here. If you know the amount of Nigerian models that are working internationally and how they are sought after, you'd be shocked. So they're also doing well in the modeling
Charles.
industry. Right? All of them. You see some people, like, you just, Nigerian, you just see the name. But I'm like, wow, this is Nigerian? So there are a lot of Nigerian models doing very well internationally. So it's just movies. I think, like, we're the last, like, it's almost our time. You're going to be seeing a lot of that very soon, where there's like a huge Hollywood production. And I mean, it happened for Woman King.
Yes.
Pastor Jimmy was in the movie, and he was the lead villain. So yeah, it could happen, but still, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, inshallah, coming soon. Much more Nigerian, much more African representation globally, which is one of the reasons why even on this show, I like to interview people from all over the continent, right? I've had Tanzanians, Nigerians, Kenyans, Namibians on the show, because the global north, people from the United States are and from other countries across the global north, don't see enough representation from the African continent. They're not regularly hearing voices like yours. They're not regularly seeing faces like yours in traditional media, which is why I'm so grateful for things like social media. I'm so grateful for streaming services like Netflix that have done a targeted effort to try and improve and increase representation, because that's important, right? And for me, the Pan-African dialogue, the Pan-African conversation needs to be happening, to the 100th fold. It's nowhere near where it needs to be. And I think entertainment and music, like what you said, has been a great connecting factor to actually connect those dots. And to see the change that we really want in entertainment, in music, in representation globally. I
agree. Absolutely agree.
So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I always got a little.
I absolutely agree.
Dude, that's gonna be the reel that I take from after this. Oh my goodness. So Uti, I hear you got a birthday coming up in the next couple days.
2 days. In 2 days, man. August 3rd. Going to be 41.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I'm going to be 41 in 2 days.
I know, 41, grown and sexy. How you feeling?
I know. I still feel like me. I wish there was like a switch to flip on your birthday every day, every year, when you just feel like, ooh, I am now a new age, you know. But I still feel the same. I still feel the same. Yeah. No plans to do anything yet. Like I said, spontaneity is my middle name. So whatever happens, happens.
So something's gonna come up for sure. Knowing you, something's gonna come up. So we'll keep an eye out for that on your socials. I'm curious, as you entered 40, so this past year, basically, right? You're not just entering a new year; it's a whole new decade, right? It's a whole new decade of a life. Did you set any intentions? Did you set any goals for the decade?
No, hell no.
What do you mean, hell no?
Yourself. No, I don't. I think God taught me a long time ago not to be so obsessed with goals and all of that, because you propose, God disposes, you know, and most times God will literally fuck your plans up just to let you know that he has all the power, not you. So it's my role to present the case, and it's also my responsibility to not dwell on what I've presented, because that's why a lot of people are going through depression and low self-esteem and all of that, disappointment. So for me, I would never say, oh, by 40 I will. I would just say I want and I will. I'm not putting an age mark on it, because age ain't nothing. You know, I don't consider myself any age. I mean, by human construct, I'm 41, but by my personal construct, I'm ageless. I'm timeless. I'm just like going through space and time continuum, you know. Yeah, so I would never again in my life, because in my 20s, I remember at 25, I was saying, oh, by 25 I'll have this and this, I'll be here, here, and there. And at 25, I didn't even have up to a third of what I wanted, and I know the effect it had on me, and all my plans just fell to pieces. I felt useless. I literally had nothing going on for me, and then from nowhere, a new beginning started, and my life went in the right direction, and the trajectory was just amazing, and I didn't seem to have control of that. The things I wanted to have control of all fell to pieces, and it was working until a certain extent. So I am my own inspiration. My life is my own inspiration. So when I'm about to get carried away by what society is saying, I just remember my own life and be like, okay, how's it been working for me? My time has never been on the same frequency of others. Never. I've always been the odd one out. I've always been the rebel. I've always been the different one. I've always been the special one, you know. So for special people who have special destinies, things don't work on the same frequency as the normal. So I would never do that to myself and say, by 40 I'll be this, by 50 I'll be this. No. If it comes, it comes.
Okay, that's actually a very interesting perspective, because I would say that, at least for me personally, I never say that by a certain age I'm going to do this or achieve this. It's not that per se, but I will be intentional about saying these are the things I want. These are the things that I want. At some point, I will put it out to the universe.
That's what I'm saying. You say, I do want, not I want by.
Yes, I agree. Exactly. So I feel like that part we can agree on, because if you limit yourself, if you say like by a certain point or by a certain thing I have to have done this, it's never going to happen, because it's not your timeline, it's the universe's timeline, right?
Hey, Baba God says yes or no.
Yes.
You can't object. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why, at least for me, I find that oftentimes I'll say like I want this thing and it'll happen, but not in the way that I anticipated it happening, and certainly not on the timeline that I anticipated it to happen.
Exactly. Okay. So that's why, yeah. So yeah, 2040 for me was just about 40. So I'm gonna be one of those sexy 40-year-olds. I'm like, hey, so I get to be. Yeah, I'm honest. That's all I was thinking of. Did I have pre-40 blues? Of course, I had pre-40 blues. My pre-40 blues were not really about oh, I've not done this, oh, I've not done that. No, it was more about why am I not worried about the thing. Worried that I wasn't worried. I'd worried that I had become so blasé to everything. I was just like, hey. So I'm like, am I getting too relaxed? So I was worried. Like, why am I not worried? I mean, it's kind of like crazy, but that's exactly how I felt for like 2 weeks to my 40th. But on the morning of my 40th, I felt something. No, I think a day to my 40th, I felt very special. I was like, ooh, look at that, 40-year-old and thriving. Yes. So it was good. It was good.
I love that you said, "Ooh, look, I'm gonna be one of those sexy 40-year-olds."
Because that's to show that age is a construct, and the only reason why the 40-year-olds have the image of the 40-year-olds is probably because they gave up at a certain age. Because I think if I could time travel, I would tell my 20s self, I'm like, dude, fuck shit up. Your life is gonna be great. Just don't get into trouble.
Yeah,
Don't get yourself
yeah.
arrested. But fuck shit up, literally, and no one cares. They only care about success. So do whatever the fuck you want to, you know. I would have had more fun in my 20s, even though I had a lot of fun. I would have had lots of fun, because I've always been different. I lived my life, and in my 30s, what would I have told myself? I'd have told myself, it's okay. It's okay to feel those things you're feeling. It's okay. It's okay. There's no weakness in vulnerability. It's fine to be vulnerable. It's okay. Because the older you get, the more you just realize that shit don't. Oh, the more time passes, the more, like, a lot of shit don't matter. The one thing that does matter in this life is just love, peace, and happiness, and that's what we're all chasing.
Love, peace, and happiness, and a great lesson on vulnerability in your 30s. I love that you said that, Uti, because a lot of people struggle to be vulnerable, and I'm in the middle of my early 30s. I'm 32, so I'm in the 30 mix right now. And I'll tell you, the freedom and the liberation to let myself be vulnerable it's unparalleled, and people are so shocked by it. Like, I'll be in a meeting with a high profile talent agency, and I'll just burst into tears in the middle of the meeting because I'm like, I feel things. I'm gonna express it. I'm gonna be vulnerable. People are like, why would you ever do that? I'm like, because that's me. That's
who you are. That's authenticity. Yes.
Exactly.
People are scared of authenticity. Yeah.
How would you are someone who's obviously super high profile. How would you share for other people out there to follow your example of being vulnerable and being authentic? Because it's something that's like much easier said than done for most people.
I would say you would know when it's time for you, because because I think you get to a point where you have to literally kick yourself in the nuts and say, stop. Everyone else can be wrong, and then you're right. You have to get to the point where you Taylor Swift this shit up and go like, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. You literally, life will kick you in the butt until you learn to take accountability for some of your shit and also be responsible for some of your shit. So when you see your life going in this direction, well, if you are in love with destruction, keep going there. But if you want to get better, you get to a point where you can't blame shit on your past or the people around you or this or that. No, you have to take accountability for your bullshit. And that's when you start on the self journey. And part of going on that self journey is realizing that vulnerability is key to authenticity. You have to be vulnerable if you want authenticity. If you want to attract the kind of things that you think you deserve, you have to be what you want to attract. You get to that point where life will start to teach you its own lessons. So nobody will tell you, unless you're a dumbass, then all right, keep being a dumbass. And that's why they say character is character. There's some people you can't change until the world is the universe, until God is ready to change them. That's why some of the mothers in the past would pray, God, touch my husband's heart. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Okay, y'all, wise words from Uti Nwachukwu here on NIKKI BANZ Live. Take accountability for your bullshit.
Because we all have. Everybody's shit stinks. So you have to know the flavor of the smell of your shit, and then get the right air freshener and use that shit. Literally. You have to.
There's one metaphor for y'all today. Not the right flavor of your own shit.
Yes, because everybody's shit has a flavor, trust me.
I'm crying, Gucci, I'm crying. That is so funny. But very apt, okay? I hope y'all are taking the lessons out of that. Y'all better be taking notes right now on your phone. You better write that on a sticky note and put it next to your laptop, put it on your desk, so that you are remembering that as you continue to move forward, being authentic, being vulnerable, take accountability for your own mess, for your own nonsense, and do your best to clean that shit up.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's the move. That's the move. Okay, I'm going to ask you one more question, but before I do that, let me throw it out there to everybody who's on the live right now. Shout out to all of you who have been tuning in, commenting. If you want to ask Uti any questions, go ahead and put them in the little question box to the right. You can see on the bottom of the screen, there's a comment box, and then there's like a little thought bubble with a question mark. Click that, type your questions in it. The chat's going by too fast, but we can get any questions for Uti from that little comment bubble. If you're not following Uti on Instagram, go to the top of the screen, literally hit that little white arrow in the middle of the screen. You can go follow Sir Uti. You can also follow me on Instagram at They Call Me Banz. So go hit that follow, top of the screen, little white arrow. Go follow Uti and go follow NIKKI BANZ. So, Uti, you know, you got to do the strategic plugs. You know, you got to plug at some point.
I know. Very, very key. Very key.
It's key. It's key. That's why you watch every YouTube video ever, even if they have 300 million followers, they say subscribe for more, right? Every single person, subscribe for more. So y'all, subscribe for more. NIKKI BANZ Live and Uti Nwachukwu. Oh my gosh. Okay, so last question for you before I start to throw it over to some of the fans. Talk to us about what's on the horizon, what's exciting, what's coming up for you either personally or professionally, and how can we as your fans, your friends, your followers, how can we continue to support?
Oh, I'm getting married.
Oh!
To myself.
Oh! I was literally about to be like,
breaking news live on NIKKI BANZ. You heard it here first. Well, it's still breaking.
Literally, I was like, what? I was like, I mean, I know we got the plug from Charles, but that's doing a lot for this
No. So one thing about me is I like the shock factor. I don't like people knowing what's coming up next. But I'll say if you stay peeled, definitely you're going to be pleasantly surprised. There's always something coming. There's always. Like my life is way too interesting for nothing to be going on. So there's always something coming. I like people to just like open their apps one day and just see you. Oh, when did you do this? Nice one, bro. I like that shit like that. So I don't like to tell them what's coming.
I love that too. Also, being in the industry, I'm sure you probably signed an NDA, so that probably has something to do with it too.
That too.
I mean, we could be out here being like, yeah, I'm spontaneous, but also I signed an NDA, so Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, I see we got some questions popping up in the little question box. Let me see what's going on to all the people out here. People still in the chat, commenting, pulling up. Let me see what the questions say. Oh, okay. Well, this one is not a question. This one is from Danielle Banks saying, you are so beautiful. You're so beautiful.
You are beautiful.
Love it. No. So beautiful. Honestly, I don't know if they were talking to me or to you, but I'm going to take
It's definitely you. I don't think anyone was like that. Okay. Definitely I mean, you.
You're Nigeria's sexiest 40-year-old, so you know.
No. I agree. I'm a beautiful man, honey. I don't run away from beauty. We like things of beauty. So I'm beautiful. It's fine.
I mean, yeah. I ran towards beauty when I saw all Charles's tattoos. So yeah, I'm with you. It's not TMI. It's good.
I'm just looking at you both. I'm like, okay.
You're gonna come visit us in Cape Town again. We can.
I have to. I was. Fun fact. I was supposed to be in Cape Town for my birthday, but I just did not apply for my visa on time. That's why. I need to get the long-term visa.
Yeah.
I'm tired of. Yeah, because every time my visa is expired, I'm just like, Then I probably spend like a year before I renew them. So yeah, if not, I would have been in Cape Town for my birthday. That was the original plan.
Oh wow. Well, honestly, I know that the struggle is hella real for Nigerian passport holders. I now know it from firsthand experience. So if there's any world leaders or heads of state who are watching this, you can just eliminate visas. We don't need that. We don't want it. We don't need visas. Let people travel freely. Borders I'm okay with, but visas, they must go. Khalas, they must go. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Thank you.
Por favor. Okay, I saw one other question on here from Marissa Alyssa saying, do you have any go-to activities you lean lean on when you were going through a creative block? That's a great question.
Ooh. Go to activities. This sounds cliche, but I watch a lot of shit.
Okay.
I just watch some random shit on YouTube. I just look for anything that I just watch things that have to do with whatever I'm bothered about. And yeah, it always helps. And because I watch a lot of shit, most times it's easy for me to drag from the things I have watched. And I'm also someone that I would go out and just observe people. Like I just observe. Sometimes I observe, even though I like to chit chat, I also observe, so that's me. I go out, I observe, I watch a lot of shit. And what else do I do? Some things you can't say here, but yeah. We go and consult the Black Panther before he goes and wakes up as the Black Panther. He needs to go through a process.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I'm just gonna let everyone's imagination just run with that one.
Wow, they had to do some sip and pass.
I'm here for it. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to have a whole another interview to talk about all of that, but that'll be the next time. Well, Uti, I gotta say, it's been an absolute pleasure, just getting the connection from Charles. He was like, Uti's one of the most energetic people that I know. So he was like, y'all can talk. And it's just said that? So cool. Yeah, he did.
Oh.
I know. Oh, so cute. See, this is why we love Charles. And honestly, just getting to know you, rocking with you, learning more about your story, learning about the things that connect the dots for all of these really incredible things that you've done throughout your life and your career. Seeing you continue to shine is just absolutely incredible. And honestly, you have a forever friend, fan, ally in me. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that we end up on the microphone together somewhere in the world.
Someday, over the rainbow.
Exactly. Uti, any final thoughts here on NIKKI BANZ Live?
No, I just go. No final thoughts. I just need to get something to eat.
Okay, time to eat. Time to get your grub on.
Yeah, eat. Final thoughts. Eat. Life is short. Eat, but work out so you can burn the shit that you eat. But eat. Have fun. Eat your dessert. Eat your meat. Eat your vegetables. Eat.
Excellent. Excellent final words there, Uti. Okay, well, everybody, the one and only Uti Nwachukwu, TV presenter, actor, executive producer, BBA All-Star winner, overall Nollywood superstar, coming to you live here on the show. Thank you, Uti. It's been such a pleasure. You're a vibe. I hope we meet up in person one day real soon.
Oh, we will.
Thank you for coming on.
Sure. As long as
NIKKI
you're
BANZ
still with that long head, we'll definitely meet.
Oh, we will. We will. For sure. All right, Uti, have a beautiful rest of your evening. This has been NIKKI BANZ Live. Bye, everyone. Bye, Uti.
Bye.
See y'all next time. Bye. All right, everybody. This is your girl, Nicole Banister, a.k.a. NIKKI BANZ. This has been NIKKI BANZ Live with the one and only Uti Nwachukwu. Go to the top of your screen, hit that little white arrow. Make sure you're following me at They Call Me Banz. Make sure you're following the one and only Sir Uti at Sir Uti. And remember, every single Tuesday, I am bringing you exclusive interviews and exclusive conversations with some of the most dynamic, most entertaining, most interesting people from across the globe, Nigeria included. Shout out to Uti Nwachukwu for being my incredible guest here today. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. This is NIKKI BANZ Live. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Mwah.